What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the crew 2, and well, as you all know, it is Wednesday, which means the new summon is now live, and for this week we have the Westside Cruisin, which brings us a chance to get a Fang Magnet boosted for the street class, which, depending on what you guys are going after, this could be a pretty awesome set to have. I know the street class is insanely used, similar to the hypercar class, so having this on there could be very useful. I mean, followers is definitely a given, which I normally would prefer bucks and followers on the Fang Magnet set, because that actually makes a lot more sense. And then moving over to next week's summit, which is the last one until the next season, which is kind of weird. I really wonder what Ubisoft is going to do next. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below for the next season on the game. Also, in Platinum, we have the Orange Smoke, which looks very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that might actually work. On a drift car, that could be very cool to have. And then in Gold, we have the Legendary Half Set for the Monster Truck class, which I think this might be one of the best sets I've seen so far as a reward you can actually get for getting Gold or Silver. I mean, that looks like Rotation and Pure there, which would be really good to have on the Nitro Chemist set for the Monster Truck. So this is definitely one to go after. Then in Silver, we have the Chevrolet Camaro RS Rallycross Edition, which I would say many people already have that. But jumping into this summit, you guys are going to notice this one is probably going to be on the Rage Enforcing side. We have Monster Truck Stunt events. It looks like a race possibly there, a jet sprint race, another Monster Truck mixed with a rally raid event, and then a Demolition Derby. So this summit is going to be on the interesting side. It's insanely purple, which makes a lot of sense, but my goodness, this one's going to be pretty interesting to do. Now moving over to the Westside Cruisin summit here. So I would say people might enjoy this one a little bit more than last week, even though we had that awesome RX-8 Gold Edition as a reward. Mainly because we had that really weird motocross race, and then we had the rallycross vehicle in a motocross track. That was something else. Nonetheless, the aerobatic skill here is pretty straightforward. I ran the Zivko here, did a wonderful job, and pretty much really didn't struggle at all. I also didn't do that great with flying it either. Still managed to get 149k. I do think the max on this is like 152 or so. So if you guys can manage to get like 30,000 points or so, you should be good to go on that. Then we're going to have a Speedtrap here, which is going to be the one in San Francisco. I ran the Chevrolet Corvette. I honestly did not do that great on this one, and I still got 376 miles an hour. I would say you'll be pretty good to go with around 370 or so, because I think it's like 135k, I believe. Let me check that real fast for everybody here. Go to the top player. So 134k is basically going to be the most. That's 440 miles an hour. I don't really think that's really needed. Moving over to the Escape, I actually ran the KTM Expo R, which did a wonderful job. I also decided to go straight on this one because I felt like that would be a better route, especially with an Alpha GP vehicle, and surely enough, the KTM did an amazing job on the turns. I really do feel like it'd be better than going right immediately when hitting the objective. I feel like either way could work, because I actually tested it out and went right as well and managed to get almost 5,000 yards, but I did get farther going straight, so I recommend trying that route instead. Now moving over to the Impala LowRider race here is actually going to be a pretty fun one to do as well. Now this will be the car on the front cover of the summit there, and surprisingly the Chevrolet is actually really fun to drive. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and this is a pretty fun race to do. I do recommend trying out my settings on this vehicle because this thing was kind of hard to race at first. Had the settings up too much, and surprisingly this car was turning too much, which is kind of a weird issue to have. The other thing I noticed when driving it was the fact that it's a 5-speed, and shifting down and shifting up if you guys are in manual was kind of a challenge sometimes, keeping this thing in the right gear. But luckily I did think I found a sweet spot for keeping this thing in 3rd to 4th gear on the turn. So if you guys are running manual, try that out because this car could be a little wonky to keep in the right gear around turns. Now moving over to both of the street races here that are no restriction. Now I actually ran the Lamborghini Superleggera on both of these because this car is absolutely amazing. So obviously down here is going to be a US Speed Tour race. Had a really good time with this one because the Lamborghini just absolutely killed this track. And this is an Alpha GP race originally, so it's kind of funny how that's like that. Now moving over to the street race here, which will actually be a no restriction, I did run the Lamborghini Gallardo because this car is amazing, and I noticed with this race a lot of tight turns, and how the curb is set up, you can also mess up on turns sometimes going around them because it'll like mess your car up because you're going on uneven ground. But luckily the Lamborghini did a wonderful job. Then moving over to the other street race is also going to be a no restriction. Now this is actually a touring car US Speed Tour race, which is actually really fun to do in a street vehicle. I would really like Ubisoft to add the ability to actually use like other class vehicles in other races. I think using street cars and hyper races, or like touring vehicles and hyper races, something like that would be really fun to do. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. The Impala Sport Sedan, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, is a really weird car to drive in this class. I'm not a big fan of it, but try my settings on it. I think it did pretty well. The biggest thing is this car does not turn the greatest, and it does struggle a bit. Luckily the speed is there pretty well, and it really doesn't struggle in that department too much. And then moving down to the Powerboat race, I did run the 1414 Demon because I do feel like this is the best boat to run on races, and to my surprise this boat did an amazing job. I got 1 minute and 41 seconds. Even with the rough seas in the area, this boat did an amazing job on this event. Now finally the last one's going to be the Xtreme series here, which is actually the grand finale, so there's a lot of cutscenes in this which I'll be skipping in the video itself so you guys don't have to watch all those. Now when it comes to the vehicles you'll need for this, the first part of this will be a rallycross race, which I ran the Escalade Enforcer unit because that truck is like pretty much my favorite thing to use all the time. Then after that you'll jump into a hyper vehicle, which I ran the Bugatti Divo. I feel like you can really run any hyper vehicle on this because the track we got to drive is honestly really short and there's a lot of turns and stuff, but it's pretty easy to do overall. Then after that, you'll have to drive a jet sprint boat, which these could be kind of wonky to use, but I ended up using the Proto rocket because I know this boat is really expensive, but my goodness is it so much fun to use, and it also looks awesome while doing it. And then finally, the last part of this series is going to be an actual Alpha GP like mixed race on a track and then on the street, and I did run the KTM Expo R on this because this thing is amazing. Do keep in mind these cars really don't like the street that much, so this thing might be a little weird to use on there. If you guys have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. Let's jump right into the summit.